Welcome to The Explainer. Today we've got a really interesting story for you. We're diving into how one city in South Korea managed to solve this massive, yearly traffic nightmare. And get this, it wasn't caused by an accident or some big construction project. Nope, it was all because of a simple belief. So, that brings us to the big question, right? How in the world does a common idea about used cars cause total gridlock at the DMV every single January? It's this wild puzzle, really, where what people think clashes with how the city has to work.
Okay, so let's set the scene. We're in Ulsan, a big industrial hub in South Korea. And every single year, like clockwork, the moment January hits, the city gets this massive administrative headache. It's totally predictable, but man, is it frustrating for thousands of people.
Just try to imagine this for a second. You've got a new car, you're feeling great, you head down to the registration office that first week of January, and bam, you're hit with these massive lines, just chaos, trying to find a parking spot, and hours of your day just, poof, gone. For people in Ulsan, this was the reality, year after year.
And we're not talking about a small increase here. The scale of this problem is huge. The number of people trying to register their cars practically doubles almost overnight. It creates this gigantic bottleneck. So, what on earth is causing this insane surge?
Well, the reason behind it all is probably not what you're thinking. It's not some tax deadline or a new government rule. The real root of the problem, it's a belief. You could almost call it a myth, something that's just common knowledge in the used car market.
So here's the belief in a nutshell. People think that a car registered in January is worth more than the exact same car registered just a week earlier in December. It's kind of wild, right? Even if it's the same model year, that slightly newer registration date is supposed to give it a better resale value down the line. And because of that, thousands of people just wait until the new year to register.
Now, for the city, this is a massive challenge. I mean, you can't just send out a press release and magically change what thousands of people believe. So Ulsan did something pretty smart. Instead of trying to fight this perception, they decided, okay, let's just adapt our system to handle the crazy surge it creates. And what they came up with was this really clever, all-encompassing plan. They didn't just try one little fix and hope for the best. No. They launched what you could call a three-pronged attack, designed to hit every single source of inefficiency and frustration.
So what were those three areas? Simple. Staffing, the actual process itself, and parking. By going after all three at once, they built a complete solution to the problem. All right, first up, boosting manpower. During that crazy first week, it was literally all hands on deck. We're talking staff starting their day early, no one was allowed to take vacation, and they even cut their own lunch break short. A huge effort just to have more people there to help everyone.
Next, they looked at the process. And you know what one of the biggest time wasters was? People taking forever to pick their own license plate number. So, the city made a simple change just for that busy period, random license plates for everyone. That one move cut out a huge delay from every single transaction, and it made the whole line move way, way faster.
And then, of course, there's the parking nightmare. Where do all these extra cars go? So Ulsan put full-time parking guides on site to direct traffic. And here's the really clever part. They teamed up with a nearby business to let people use a huge underground parking lot totally for free. So simple, but what a game changer.
Okay, so we've seen what they did, but let's talk about why. Why go through all this trouble? Well, the reason is much bigger than just making lines shorter.
Just to give you some context here, Ulsan has to manage over 610,000 registered vehicles. That's a huge number. This isn't some small side job for the city, it's a massive core service. On a normal day, they're handling something like 2,400 vehicle cases. But during that first week of January, that number explodes to nearly 5,000 a day. You can see why the old system was just completely buckling under the pressure.
And a city official really summed up their whole approach perfectly. They said the key was being proactive and citizen-centered. In other words, they didn't just sit around and wait for people to complain. They saw the problem coming and designed a fix that was all about making the experience better for the actual person standing in that line.
So when you boil it all down, this whole plan wasn't just about making things run faster. It was about something bigger. It was about showing people that their city government is on the ball, that it listens, and that it actually respects their time. It was really a project in building trust.
So as we wrap this up, it kind of leaves you thinking, doesn't it? Ulsan took this annoying problem that happened every single year and came up with a really smart, thoughtful solution. And it makes you wonder, What's a small problem in your own community that's just waiting for a little bit of that same clever, citizen-focused thinking?